Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Rocket League CCL Week 2. We're here today to observe the DSU versus University of Nebraska, Omaha today.
Yeah, some kind of new appearance in the league here. Pretty excited to see how they play.
Yeah, Nuko, so how did last week's match go for DSU? I heard it was a little bit of a troublesome time, but we're going to expect to see some better stuff today, right?
Yeah, like you said, a little bit of a troubled time, yes, but you have to take into consideration that Wayne actually was the second seed best team in all of CCL last semester, and the first seed actually, they left. So now Wayne is pretty much kind of the king of the hill, to be honest. So, you got kind of have to give credit where credit's due. They're a very respectable, very fast, and very good team. So, it's okay, in my opinion, that we lost that one. I hope at least that they learned a lot from that and they were able to kind of watch the replays and, build off of that experience that they.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And here we go. We got kickoff going already.
Painted Harp here trying to pass to Gravy as Gravy takes it to midfield here. A little bit of a fake here. Tries to get another one, but the team 50'd. Now Def Moss in the corner trying to get a nice 50 out here. Gravy passing it mid. Looks like Painted Harp is going to try to follow it up on the wall, but gets knocked away.
Here we go. Already seeing a kind of a strong offensive pressure here from University of Nebraska, Omaha.
Gravy getting beat there. They're going to have to try to play a little bit better defense if they want to stop this push here. Looks like one's up, but it gets put off the backboard there, and Painted Harp's going to take it up mid. It looks like he has a lot of boost to play with, but
yeah, sometimes it's tough. The offensive pressure that DSU just exhibited there, and then of course, with Omaha getting up in the face of DSU, having no boost left and going for stuff like that will definitely stop you just a little bit short here. But you see Gravy's here. He's doing some pretty nice defensive plays. You see he's kind of the back man on the rotation whenever it seems that DSU wants to push the ball. And there he is again, saving another goal.
Yeah, Gravy, this is actually kind of his second appearance in kind of a league setting. And, compared to like a ranked setting when you're playing ranked Rocket League, being in a league is a lot more, I want to say, organized than, just playing Rocket League. And so it's definitely kind of a play style change, and it takes a little bit more concentration to be able to play with the team and, play against a team that's also just as organized, to be honest.
Yeah, and I mean, I love how it applies to all the different games and everything like that. Like, you can go into pugs, right? And you can be the highest ranked, player in the game in terms of like, the actual matchmaking MMR. But the moment you get into the league setting, that's when the battle of fortitude and teamwork is really becomes apparent, because that's just when like those things, those little exploits in a team's rotation or in the lack of communication in a team can really come out. And then obviously the strengths of like when a team sets up plays well and is able to pass the ball well, it's gonna be really easy to see which teams got the upper hand in that regard.
See Gravy trying to pitch it back into the corner here, just trying to slow the ball down just a little bit. We see that he's kind of low on boost here. Gets a bump on Jewel as Def Moss kind of misses the ball, but it looks like Pod's going to be taking it. Painted Harp off the corner, going to pass it out to Jewel, just try to get a clear and reset here for his team. We see Jace going for a shot in the left corner, but Def Moss is there.
Oh, that was a really close shot there.
Def Moss again. Gravy taking it up the wall here. Looks like he has a little bit of time to play with and has a full pot of juice.
And then Gravy's just going to drive
off the corner.
Yeah. Oh, and Def Moss almost got him. It looked like he maybe, oh my gosh, pronouncing that gamer tag. It looked like he had kind of caught him there a little bit. Like Def Moss maybe didn't have as much velocity as he thought he might have, and almost scored a goal there.
Painted Harp and Def Moss trying to get something worked out here in the corner, but it looks like Pod and Jace are going to be taking it back into their corner. Going to be tossed mid, but Jules kind of hanging back there as Gravy keeps it in his own corner. We have a minute 30 to go here and still not a single goal from either side. It's been kind of back and forth, to be honest. I haven't really seen anything too crazy in terms of possession on offense. Honestly, this game could go either way.
Yeah. Now, Gravy's a new player on the DSU squad, and I'm curious because last year I observed you guys. I was able to kind of figure out the play styles of the different team members here. Now, like, how would you describe Gravy's play style? Is he a little bit more conservative? Does he kind of lay in the weeds a little bit, or is he maybe a more aggressive player going for those flip reset? Oh, speaking of which, we got Gravy scoring a goal here.
Talk about a caster blessing.
We were just talking about you, man.
Yeah. After a couple of games that we played with Gravy, just kind of on the side, and seeing what he has to offer for DSU and see how well he can kind of integrate with the team, we noticed that he loves to fake a lot. And that can be both a really good thing, but it can also kind of be a curse in threes. It's a really hard thing to kind of master in this sort of league. Yeah. And I think that he's a very solid player. He's very consistent in terms of being able to 50 people really well, being able to read the 50s and his opponents really well. And honestly, he's got quite a few tricks in the bag, so he likes to say, whenever he tries to go for flip resets and things of that nature. So.
Yeah, it's really cool to see, a new member of the DSU squad here. I know that you were mentioning before the game that he is a senior. That's why he's playing on this awesome varsity squad here. And, of course, getting the first goal in this game. We got 22 seconds left with 1-0. And it's going to take a little bit of work here from Omaha in the very tail end of this game in the final seconds to maybe get something going here. But this DSU defense has just been so stout throughout this first game.
We've seen a lot of backboard reads, a lot of saves from Jacob especially.
Oh, yeah.
Defmoss has been really cracking down on the boards there. Gravy's just playing it very slow, trying to kill the ball in the corner there. Defmoss is going up for a touch, trying to 50 him. Painted Hard clearing it all the way out into their corner, and I think that's going to be the round 1 game. There we go.
Awesome. Yeah, hey, there we go. We got one on the board. That's awesome. I know that last week, going against the top-seeded opponent in this league, it's tough. And so I bet you that breathes some good life into the team. And, even if we get into it, tonight and they'd end up dropping a game, that boosts the confidence. That's
I feel like this game definitely kind of boosted some spirits a little bit, got them into a kind of a groove. It seemed that they were playing really well together. I maybe saw one kind of spot that was a little bit jittery on defense, but other than that,
sure,
it was very, very well organized.
I think also that the pressure Omaha had there in that first game, you mentioned the spot on defense that was maybe I saw what you mentioned, the epic save from Gravy. It was like, whoa, it literally pitched out of the goal. Oh, and here we go. Defmoss with a nice shot over the middle there. But yeah, it almost seems like DSU had to play not necessarily on their back foot, but significantly more defense than offense there in that first game. And I'm excited to maybe see them turn up the heat and play the ball towards the orange goal here a little bit more.
Painted Heart banging it over to Gravy on the left-hand side here. Looks like he's got a little bit of boost here, but looks like Painted Heart might go for a shot, but no, he gets the miss on the shot. And now Defmoss is going to be joining up for an early contest here. He's going to go off the backboard, and Jace is going to be up early, but Painted Harp is there, and it's going to go right down into their net, and Gravy's there for a shot, but it looks like it's going to get a save by Pod as he takes it off into the wall and bangs it middle. But DSU has been very, very aggressive this first minute of the game.
They just could not quite close that play, but you know what? That's okay. It's going to get the heart rate, of UNO going just a little bit. They're going to be like, oh man, this offense, it's almost exhausting, right?
I 100% agree, and especially when you just keep attacking. The first couple of shots may not fall, but every time that you do attack, you're making them waste boost to try to get a solid save, and eventually you're going to get to a point where they just don't have any more boost. And if you can keep that rhythm going, it's going to be very, very fortunate for them.
Yeah. And I mean, so I've never had the fortune of casting with one of the team members here, but I could imagine, and I'm sure you could comment on this, that in-your-face pressure can almost similar to, like in basketball, when a team has an incredibly stout offense. I'm sure that can be really exhausting as, players just sit here defense. We're having to clear the ball from our goal all the time. We're having to keep it over center field so we can, play some defense on it, push it into the corner, whatever the strategy is there for your defense. Yeah, I mean, how does that affect you guys?
Painted Harp, he has a very good saying that we all kind of try to grind into our brains right before games or while we're playing games especially. Right. And that's the moment that you start to think is the moment that you die.
Yeah. Act on instinct.
It's kind of like one of those, you think you're basically beat, and that's just kind of how it goes, to be honest. We see Defmoss way up before him, and he gets an open net there.
Jacob, heck yeah, man. That's awesome. Beautiful aerial goal over the top there, going really fast towards the goal, and you just see him catch him off that rotation there with a really nice clear from the DSU side there. Not quite sure who initiated the clear, but Jacob was there, of course, to back that ball up.
Looks like Painted Harp is up here early to try to contest Jace, but he gets it over him. Now Gravy and Pod going at it here on the right-hand side, but it looks like he just gets bumped, and that might go in.
Oh, a little bit of a misread there. We were talking about fakes earlier, and I think maybe he just had a little bit of too good of a ball control there. A little tap on that right side.
Absolutely taken out of the play there. Oh, that's super unfortunate for DSU, but it's all right. We had a little bit of a cushion, and now we're half of the game left. It's basically 0-0 at this point, so we can kind of reset, get something playing out here.
And I know our DSU guys, they're not going to let that affect their mental strategy here either. They're thinking, okay, we gave one up, whatever. We're going to get another one.
100%. Gravy with a double tap off their side.
And there's the other one.
A really well-timed double tap there off Gravy. Had just enough boost to get it to the ball and touch it one more time before the UNO defenders could get there.
I think a lot of people, when they watch Rocket League, really enjoy those like flip resets, off the top of the goal, double taps, something similar to what just happened right there, but maybe, as a goal. And I really enjoy those, roll off the corner. They're doing some, trigonometry to figure out, or geometry to figure out, where they need to place their car in order to get like a really flat goal. It's really, really fun to watch.
Yeah, my personal favorite passes are the type of passes that everyone is on the ground and you're just doing the slowest passes to each other, and it all comes down to positioning. And being able to beat someone positionally is just my absolute favorite thing in the world. Gravy with a great pass, and Tanner Harp is able to slide it in right there.
What a just incredible play here. They got him. He boxes them out. That completely removed them from the play. And Jewel, of course, trying on the demo, which was what he should have done, and it just was not fast enough.
Yeah, Gravy waiting there in the corner for UNO to kind of get a little bit jittery was a great idea there.
Yeah, and here you see, the DSU guys are going to put 2 up on Omaha. They're going to make them sweat a little bit here in the last minute 30 of this game. They don't want to fall.
Not really getting the touch that he wants, but it looks like Jewel is not really there for the shot. Gravy taking it middle, just trying to get a nice clear here. Painted Harp taking it now as he's 50'd after Pod. Gets it over 1, gets it past 2, no.
Oh my goodness. Watch him drive over the entire field, He's going to dodge 2 players, and then boom, he just gets blown up in the back line.
Jay's passing it over to Defmoss. Defmoss passing it mid, but it looks like Pod is there. Jewel is now up for it in the corner of DSU side, but Gravy's there. Nope, just kidding. Defmoss is out for it now. A little bit of a double commit there. Painted Heart passing it mid up to Gravy. Gravy up for a shot. Doesn't quite get the touch that he wants there.
Hate to see it. But that was a really good pass by Painted Heart. You really just, of course, initiating this thought as they score here, but you're just really seeing Omaha like push the ball towards the DSU goal, but it's really not like on target a lot. And I feel like, the 2 goals that they've scored in this game have been like ground goals where they've essentially faked out the DSU defenders. The aerial game there is kind of something that Omaha's going to have to get going in order to, stand a chance in this fight.
Exactly, yeah. I think the reason that they mainly scored there was because, something happened with Defmoss there. Maybe he just didn't have enough boost to jump up for it entirely, but we saw him jump up just a little bit and then kind of bail a little bit early there.
Oh, and a tragic miss there by Gravy. That would have probably sealed this match almost entirely away, but, can't get them all, right?
Jewel going up for it again, going kind of middle. A little bit of a double contest there, but Painted Harp takes it mid, and it looks like he might get a ground, but he just kind of throws it there. Pod trying to get a nice clear here. Gets it over 1. Gravy there to contest the shot, but it looks like it might just go right over him, but there's Painted Harp again.
Oh, man, Pod just
passing in middle, but it looks like Jewel's there to kind of stop that touch.
Nice.
And that'll be round 2 for DSU. We're in match point.
Yeah. I mean, you saw Gravy turned up the heat before. I think he kind of put the team on his back a little bit in that first matchup, and now you see the boys are, they're even on goals, a little bit save there for Gravy, and a lot of shots from Painted Harp, and you just see them, they're all cylinders are firing now. They're ready to roll.
Yeah, they are playing very well this game. Just last game, they were playing absolutely. They were synergized. All the passes were on point. There wasn't really a pass that was too far over them or too short of them. And their positioning is great this game.
Yeah, and I mean, hey, in your Rocket League expertise, okay, what does Omaha do in this game? What adjustments do they make to get back in this set?
Honestly, I haven't seen a ton. I caster curse just like that. You set me up for that. I'm blaming you for that one, to be honest.
Hey, you know what? I'll be here all week.
I was just about to say that they should, start applying a little bit more pressure in terms of, getting those solid 50s. It all comes down to getting a really solid 50 on offense in their corners.
Like that one.
Exactly. Which is why I'm a little bit upset that you made me start talking about it right when they score. But yeah, seeing a little bit more offensive pressure, and I see them getting a lot of clears out, but they don't necessarily get the finish when it comes down to actually scoring on their half.
Yeah,
and so that could come down to positioning on the third man. Maybe they're not trusting their third man as much, and it looks like it might just go off the post, and Jules kind of there to stop the shot. Get a little bit of a triple commit there, but that's okay.
What a pinch that was. Did you see him? Like, he just tagged the wall and painted Harp. Gosh, his like mechanical skill, like his raw mechanical skill, painted Harp is just, it's insane to me.
And in DCRL, Painted Harp is known as the mechiest person in the league.
Yeah.
And you didn't hear that from me. That you talked to DCRL about that.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna have to agree, to be quite frankly honest. Looks like they might get a really good pass, and it looks like it was off, but just wasn't quite there for the save, and we actually get the own goal on that one.
That's okay. Now we're still within the first like minute 30 of this game, and we've seen DSU down 2-3 before and come back and win a game. So not too worried about it yet. The guys are going to make some adjustments here. And,
oh yeah, it's one of the most important things about a league such as this, especially when it's best of 3, is to make adjustments as fast as you can, especially when you're down in numbers and down in games. So being able to make adjustments, honestly, great on them. And I mean, it looks like they're doing very well now, to be honest. They're like I said earlier, they're crashing the boards now. They're getting a lot more of offensive pressure here, being in position a little bit earlier than they would be naturally, and it's working out for them.
Yeah, I mean, if you're DSU, it's hard to be mad about that last goal. We'll just, he's coming in, his teammate, he knows where his teammate's putting the ball, and he's right there for it. And, just something fast that the DSU offense, or DSU defense just was not able to react to. And I think, honestly, that play was just really impressive.
It was good.
Yeah. May not have been as flashy, but...
Painted Harp going to try to contest here, but Jules on it already, and Gravy's kind of right under him. Defmoss going for a 50 on Jace here. Looks like it's going to go into the right-hand corner of DSU side. Kind of a double commit there, but it looks like we get the ball cleared away. Painted Harp passing in middle. Defmoss is kind of there, gets kind of a lost shot, but it's all right. Gravy trying to keep up a little bit of a pressure here, and gets past him, gets past Painted Harp, but he's able to get a 50 just in time. Pod is up for a shot, but Gravy says no.
Yeah. Oh, man, Gravy laughed the whole way on that. He's like, oh, yeah, you want that? No, sorry. Next time. You're not going to make this 0-4. We're going to get one here.
Jewel kind of banging it to the middle, but it doesn't look like he has anyone to help him out here. Jeez, kind of getting a little bit of a whiff there, but Pod's kind of there to put it on target. Painted Harp's there to stop the ball. Get it kicked out towards mid again. Gravy now, 12 boosts, tries to go for a play, but gets contested by Jewel.
Yeah. That's tough. That's something about Rocket League that just fascinates me is the player awareness, right? Like the camera controls in Rocket League they're pretty good. The fact that you can snap obviously between your front view and your ball view, but just being able to be aware of where everyone is around you at all times it's kind of incredible, honestly.
And honestly, I would say about maybe 5% of the players in the entire Rocket League community, maybe 10, actually use their camera. Because the camera is a joystick as well. It's just hardly ever used. Right. And I think that just comes down to people honestly just kind of have it figured out at this point. Like, you just know that you're being contested whenever.
Playing a game of memory of where people are at all times.
You put 12,000 hours into a game, I mean, you kind of just have it figured out after that.
It's true. Or at least one would hope.
Yeah. Painted Harp throwing it off the backboard. Gravy there for a shot, and he gets a great 50 to slam it home.
This whole thing, Defmoss coming off that corner there and then Painted Harp putting it up. Oh, and it was a risky play not to, or to be so low on the ball to pop it up above the upright because, it allowed the defense to get into position. But, Gravy's going to finish that one. Solid 50
for Gravy there. Painted Harp with a nice 50 after the kickoff. Gravy's going to kind of hang back, take some space, get a little bit situated here as he kicks it mid. Going to get contested, but he gets past one. Jewel there now on him, but it looks like he gets past him. Painted Harp there. He gets past him as well. Gets a flick out towards the corner.
Nice.
Pod's up for a shot. He looks like he tries to get it down, just not quite there. Gravy's there to stop the play.
Is he going for like a ground pinch?
Just trying to get under them, essentially, yeah. Sure. It's there's many ways to score in this game.
Oh. Yeah. Like that.
Yeah. I was just about to say that, actually. Yeah. I was just so taken aback.
Yeah.
Every time I talk about them, they're just automatically scoring on us.
Pod had a really nice pass there, and Jewel
was
was
a
just
very nice pass
right
off
in
the corner.
position.
Yeah.
Right in position to make that work. Here we go, 1:10, down by 3 DSU is right now against Omaha, but still up in the series 2-0. So even if we do end up dropping this game, it's okay.
Exactly.
There's at least 2 more to play.
Now we just have to adapt to the people who already adapted. So this is honestly, we have a little bit of comfort room to play with, even if we lose this game. You know, it's technically not still over. If we really crash the boards here, it's still possible. But even if it's not possible for DSU, we still have a lot of room to play with and experiment on how we should be able to fix this.
Absolutely, yeah.
Looks like Jace is going to try to take it into their corner. Gravy's there for it. Tries to get a nice flick over him, but he gets demoed. Bandit Harp, last man back. Looks like he might get kind of a big bang here. Tries to go for maybe a solo play. Gets 50, but Def Moss is already there on the ball. Bangs it super high for Gravy. Not quite there. Jewel's able to stop it. I honestly don't understand how Jewel is a name that's allowed.
yeah.
I looked at the roster and I'm like, is that allowed? Can I say that?
They just misspelled, Jewel, like the Jewel.
And Bandit Harp able to get the 5-second goal to kind of boost their confidence a little bit. Gravy there with a really nice pass as he kind of wave dashes and gets a nice 50 there.
Ball's got to go somewhere. Painted Heart said, right into your goal.
And as we boil down to the last 6 seconds here of Game 3, it looks, unfortunately, it's going to go to UNO, but that's okay. We've still got a lot of room to work with. Like I said earlier, we've got a lot of, time to mess around and see what we can do to try to fix this and adapt in a way that they've adapted. So,
well, in my mind, they just lost this game by 1.
Exactly.
Because that was going in. But yeah, no, honestly, dropping one game in the set by 2 points is really that's not catastrophic, Obviously now if UNO had kind of come in here and into this third game and was like, all right, well, now it's 7-1. Oh, okay, now you've got issues. But, this is something that is easily adjustable, and DSU's looking to correct it, obviously, and it's going to be a good game here. I'm feeling good about game 4.
Pod taking it up the wall. He gets a nice flick, but Painted Harp's there to stop it. Gets past him off the backboard there, but Jace is kind of taking it up the wall again. Gets a nice solid pinch, but Gravy's there to get it on the wall. Passes mid, but Jules there to kick it back.
The patience there by Jewel.
Painted Harp gets faked out on the aerial. Oh, no. Oh, what a solid play for UNO there. They got a very nice fake. You see that Pod went up for a shot, and I don't know if he missed it on purpose. I'm going to assume that he missed it on purpose.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we'll give him credit. We'll give him credit.
We'll give him the credit, yeah.
Good fake out, even if it unintentionally intentional, as they say. But yeah, no, Painted Harp, it happens. Good plays are good plays. It's tough to react to everything, and here we go. Oh my gosh.
Def Moss just couldn't quite read the ball in the air there. As Pod with a solid bang from his own corner. That was, honestly, I think Def Moss just a little bit out of position there. Maybe he was just a little bit too close, not expecting such a bang in their corner. I mean, honestly, it's hard to when everyone's that close. Yeah.
And my feelings about Game 4 have changed. No, I'm just kidding. But we'll see what DSU does here. I'm very confident still that these guys can put a couple points on the board here and close this gap. A 2-point gap is something that I feel like is definitely not.
Gravy getting a nice demo there, kind of giving Painted Harp some space to play with as he clears the ball out. Painted Harp not quite in position for that one, but it's all right because we're going to have to rotate back here and try to get a nice stop here. Gravy with a nice stop, exactly.
Hey, one thing I've noticed here with this UNO guys is like their positioning and everything was fine in the first couple of games, but they just seem to be like kind of missing balls, whiffing shots and things like that. And now it just seems like, gosh, like they can't miss. Like even if they're not on target, they're still making contact and throwing off the DSU tempo, and it's very effective. It's working, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, whatever they did to adapt and change. I mean, maybe they had a conversation about how they've got nothing to lose, and
Yeah.
it's working now for them.
Second week in CCL, nothing to lose. I like that. That's fun.
Gravy getting a nice play around the first man, gets it past the second one, but looks like Jace might be there to stop it. No, Pod is there to kick it away. Now Def Moss and Pod going for a shot. Jacob gets a nice save.
Pod with the fakes, man. That's awesome. Like that's an awesome play there, just slowing it down, making the rhythm his. He's just working the ball really nicely.
it almost comes down to like a psychological warfare, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean,
when you got so much control with the ball, and when you're so good at this game, people have to respect you for it, and like they can't just insta challenge you whenever they feel like it, because you will get beat otherwise.
Exactly.
And so,
well, at the level of play of the Collegiate Champions League, you got to figure like at some point, like Rocket League is less a game of explosive pressure and sometimes more of a game of chess. And here we go. Gravy's going to get one in off of a really nice pass there from Painted Harp off the wall.
Yeah, way to recover and get that second touch there to pass to Gravy, and just gets right over Jewel. What a nice shot.
Yeah, I mean, I would almost venture to say that like Painted Harp, because of his mechanical skill, just sometimes is just the best passer in the league,
dude.
man.
And it's so exciting when you get such a solid pass, to be honest, because you can't do anything after that, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing that in your power to score this ball. It's all in your teammates' hands, but you just gave him the golden egg of passes. It's just so exciting.
Well, and Painted Harp being a symphony of button mashing is just very helpful to this DSU squad here, as we see. He's always in some way a part of a big play.
So we're getting a very nice demo on the last man back, but it looks like no one's there to shoot. Gravy taking it over to the right hand corner, kind of passing it over to UNO, but that's okay. Def Moss is there to take the ball away.
Not quite sure what UNO's doing here. We just went from, champion level play here back to gold for the last, 15 seconds or so, but I guess we're back again. You just watched that goal float, or the attempted goal float all the way over midfield and no reaction to it whatsoever. And then you watch DSU drive the ball down with not even a jump from the UNO guys. Really bizarre play there. Here we go. Looks like DSU's going to set up some offensive pressure, but
Painted Harp with a very nice flick, and Def Moss able to smack it down. No, he gets a nice save.
That's tragic.
Pod trying to get a pass out mid, but Def Moss is trying to get a good clear. Jewel backing it back into their corner. Doesn't have a shot though.
UNO's play style
And
just
Painted Harp gets a very solid clear, and no one's there to stop it. It's just caught him right out of position, to be honest.
I mean, I think DSU just kind of gave him the slap in the face to knock him back off tempo. Like you saw the rotation from UNO was incredible. Like anything that they knew was coming towards their side of the field was reacted to, and now all of a sudden we're 3 up. It's like, okay, guys, the game is on the line here. We need to keep the rotation going proper.
Yeah, Def Moss with a solid bump there on the third man for Painted Harp to get an open net.
Oh, and there you go. You see almost a defensive whiff there, but it looked like he still kind of got his corner of his car there to block that.
Painted Harp trying to go for this ball here. Gets a nice ground touch and a solid flick, but Jules able to stop at his last man.
Gosh.
Def Moss now up. Gets kind of a goofy touch there, but pass to Gravy as Gravy throws it into the wall and gets a double touch.
Jules' reactions have just been so on point this entire series, even despite the games that they've lost. Like, he's always there, really fast reaction time to get up in the air to block some of these shots, especially from an ace like Painted Heart himself, which, on the flip side of things there, you got Painted Heart with an epic save, and that was vital to this game continuing.
Gravy for kind of a shot there, but 2 are there to stop this play. And we get down to the last 10 seconds of the game here in game 4, and Painted Harp throwing it into the corner. Def Moss trying to also get a play going. Gravy super high up on the shot.
Man was soaring.
I think he was just hoping that one of his teammates would bang it down.
Oh, yeah. That was incredible. That was fun to watch.
We get right into overtime here on game 4.
And Gravy was zooming. Here we go. We got fighting for a little bit of ball control here.
Looks like Gravy's going to try to take possession here. Catching Jewel kind of on low boost. Painted throwing it into the wall. Doesn't get the double touch that he wants, and Jace is going to be able to get it clear there. Def Moss, last man back, throwing it to their corner. Gets a very nice clear, but Jewel's going to be able to ground it here. Gets demoed, and now it's a 1v1 here.
Pivotal demo
nice
there.
Flick off the backboard. Jewel isn't able to get it, and Def Moss just not quite on target.
And Jacob, you and I will be talking after the game about that.
Painted Harp taking it off the wall there. He's got a little bit of boost to play with, but doesn't quite get it.
Jacob's going to assume ball control again. Jules going to take it right back, and Gravy's going to react again. Gosh, the trading here, you always see, because I'm not going to lie to you. I play at a very low level in Rocket League. I'm only a plat. Now, I know that some people are like, plat, that's pretty good. No, I mean, it's not. But, and I always see, like, when a team takes ball control, it's usually generally, pretty tough to get it back. But these guys, it's just like one back to the other, back to the other. Like, it's incredible.
And it all mainly comes down to positioning. It's where are they likely to put this ball after he's done touching it? And you just got to be in that spot. And the more you think about it, it's just the slower you're moving. And that's just pretty much what it comes down to, is just kind of muscle memory at this point.
Jacob with a nice save there. Painted Harp got a little tripped up, you know.
It's like Jay's going for a shot there. Pod trying to get the read, but doesn't quite get it. Def Moss gets a nice clear out towards mid. Jules going to try to take control here, but doesn't quite get it. Jeff Moss tries to go for a shot, but not quite. Doesn't have any boost.
DSU needs to keep it, you know, going towards the UNO goal here. They are exhibiting way too much pressure on our side of the field right now.
Jay's with a solid demo. Gravy's going to try to take possession at mid. Gets a nice pass to Painted Harp. Doesn't quite have the boost for a shot, though.
That's okay. Gravy's going back in for it.
Kind of an early contest there from Jacob. All three of them are going to have to try to boost back here, but it looks like Painted Harp's going to be able to get there. Def Moss throwing it all the way across the corner.
Who else? Who else? You know? We're going into our 2.5 minute of overtime here. These teams they're fighting hard, and this DSU side of the field has seen a lot of this play. Oh, and
Pod not quite getting the flip that he wants there, but gets it past. But Def Moss is always there.
Yeah. Def Moss is always, you know, master of defense here. You know, he's a very patient player. You can see it. He doesn't really he's not overly impulsive with his decision making. You know, he really likes to sit back a little bit and kind of observe the field before making his plays. And I think that's always to benefit whenever it's a defensive play.
He's the deft defender. What more can you say?
I love that. Somebody clip that real quick. The deft defender.
Oh, and Grady's not quite able to get there in time. Jewel is going to have to just slide it right over his head. Oh, that's super tough going after, you know, an 8-minute game. It's really tough to see just not quite getting the backflip up enough to be able to stop that goal.
An unfortunate outcome for DSU, but I'm still confident that they're going to come in with a bit of a vengeance type attitude here. And we're going into game 5 now. Geez.
Game 5. We're on match point for both teams now. And, you know, like you said, I kind of agree with you in the sense that game 4, you know, that they're talking themselves into what they need to do to try to remediate the situation. And now game 5 is like, yeah, we're right. We need to actually just execute on this a little bit harder now. We're correct in the sense that we know what we're doing wrong. Now we just have to execute a little bit stronger.
I definitely think they found the mentality or the vein of existence that they need to play in to be able to throw off the UNO guys, kind of what their weakness is, if you will. And honestly, it's kind of one of those things where I think...
Oh, looks like having a little bit of a connection issue. We're going to have to switch over to casters here real quick.
It's all right.
And we'll take a little bit of a 5-minute timeout, if you will.
Sure.
I know that's not necessarily allowed in Rocket League, but if Valorant can do it, so can we. All right?
You know what? Yeah, we can have text too. Rocket League is, you know, just like everything else. But yeah, no, a really exciting matchup so far. I always love 5-game series. 5-game series are so exciting. No matter which side of the coin you're on, you know, a 5-game series it's always fun because, you know, more game time.
Exactly. And I'm always rooting for a best of 5 in CCL. I think that would, like, you practice for an entire week to play a best of 3 match, which, you know, could take about 15 minutes if you get swept, if either team gets swept. And, you know, that's kind of, you know, almost disheartening. And I feel like, you know, it doesn't really hold justice to what the games could be if it was a best of 5 or maybe a best of 7 at least. And of course, that's kind of a lot to ask for. You know, a lot of people are drained out after 3 matches of solid Rocket League gameplay. And so
I totally understand that.
And I want to get back to how you talking about how Plat is not a very good rank. You know, the average rank in Rocket League is Diamond 2. So I think you're maybe a little bit too hard on yourself.
Maybe a little. I know I have some friends who play in Diamond, and we all play together sometimes, and it's fun. I haven't actually been in Rocket League in months. It's been a while, you know. You keep yourself busy, and then, you know, it's like you got to pick and choose the games you play, and it's a little unfortunate. But so, I mean, while this game's getting started, if you are aware of it, maybe talk about the schedule for the next couple of weeks. Who's DSU? Who's on the docket for DSU next week? I was just informed by tech that we have a schedule button that we can talk about after the game.
New buttons?
Yeah, I like
Painted Harp with a very nice double touch off the wall, just with 7 boosts remaining. Gets a very, very nice touch.
Yeah, I mean, here you just see all the reasons that he's a dynamic player coming in here. Really, really strong angle there on that goal, and he just is, of course, hitting it right into the sweet spot to pierce the defense.
He was there, just wasn't quite able to get the angle there. And 4:39 left to go in the game, and we're already up 1. So very, very strong attitude from DSU here coming off on Game 5.
We take those. But, yeah, I'm hoping the DSU guys can keep this up. A little bit of a airtime there by Jacob.
Jacob just a little bit too high up on the ball. I think he expected it maybe not to hit ceiling and drop down as fast as it did, and just kind of passed it right to Jace. But that's all right. I think you just kind of regroup here, work a little bit more on getting solid touches is all. It's just a minor fluke in the system, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, falling flat on a ball like that is unfortunately, it's just a really, really tough situation because you already know that a couple of those UNO guys are going to be watching right underneath it. And, of course, you're going to see that kind of reaction.
And Harp gets the save on the nasty flip reset from UNO.
Hart skipped a beat there. I thought we were going down. And here's my man, Painted Harp, of course, bringing the ball out of the goal.
Painted Harp trying to carry it in the corner, trying to dodge demos as well. But Pod taking a little bit of possession. It looks like it gets past Def Moss, but not past Gravy as Gravy grounds it. And Contest Jewel gets past him, takes it up on the wall there. Doesn't get the flick that he wants, but Jace is going to take it back from him. Painted Harp now on a ground play. Gets a solid 50 there. Gets beat by Def Moss.
And they're bailed out by a little bit of a crossbar touch. And, geez, I'm sure they took a little deep breath after that one, thinking, oh, man, geez.
If there is any god in Rocket League, it's got to be the crossbar.
Oh, no. And another one. Their defense was not set up for that, but just UNO just could not get the ball in.
Painted Harp with a solid bang. Gets a nasty bar down and out.
Oh, man, the MVP of this game for both teams just being that crossbar right now.
And Painted Harp just slightly out of position for that one as it gets redirected by Jace.
Not a character we've talked a whole lot about in this matchup so far as Jace. And here, he gets his moment here. And
what a solid pass from Pod there as Jace gets a really nice redirect, to be honest. It was super fast.
Yeah, and I think, maybe seeing some more from Jace here. He might be a little warmed up. Oh!
Gravy with a nice shot there, but Pod's able to put it away. Jace throwing it into their corner, trying to give their team some time to recoup.
Oh, yeah, and a little bit of a late reaction there, and Painted Harp's going to try and bail him out. Gravy will keep the pressure. They're way pushed up right now.
Once again saves them.
Yeah, well, at least we got Def Moss back here for a little bit of a defensive play here.
Gravy throws it into the corner. He looks like he's going to try to contest again, but Jewel doesn't get the great 50. Def Moss gets beat. Painted Harp's there, though. Jace throwing it super high up. Doesn't quite get the touch that he's probably looking for there. Gravy there for a shot, but Jules says no.
I can't imagine that reacting to like a defensive play while the ball is directly above your head. Oh, that's tragic.
Oh, what? I actually don't know what happened there. I'm going to have to watch this replay before I talk about this. Oh, it looks like Zach just flipped a little bit too soon on the ball before getting any contact.
Might have been a little discombobulated by the backwards play there. I know I'm not that great at driving backwards. So it could have been something related to that. But
Painted Harp with a really aggressive play off the wall there, and Gravy's there to help him out.
Look at this
Oh my
pass.
gosh, that was vengeance right there.
Oh my goodness. The car control. Just in the moment of disappointment, we're like, gosh, he made kind of a bummer play. And then he pulls something like that.
He was so mad that he just had to redeem himself. And Gravy was there to help him out.
Just reciprocate, keep that energy alive. Painted Harp with an incredible play there. And I mean, gosh, yeah, Gravy was the one who made the goal, but everyone's talking about the pass off the wall there.
It was a very, very well done pass.
Oh, yeah.
Gravy there for kind of a mid-touch there for Def Moss, not quite able to get it there. Jewel and everyone, honestly, is over. It's a 1v3 here for Def Moss, and Painted Harp is not quite able to get there.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that three-man high, with the DSU's, really, really trying to put goals away, and they bring all their players to the top of the field, and it gives obviously Painted Harp is the first one back that time, but it doesn't give them a lot of time to actually react and observe the situation. I think that's something that I wish I'd see them correct here is just you can make, shooting plays with two players, and yes, they may not be as effective, but I get it. You're down 2 points, you got to be more aggressive, but yeah, I think it's kind of the bane of our game right here.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you as well. I think that, the whole triangle rotation that everyone kind of has ingrained in their brain, or at least in this kind of rank, It works, but there are other rotational schemes that work just as well, to be honest. And honestly, it just comes down to being able to play a little bit differently. Gravy trying to get a pass there to Painted Heart, but not quite able to connect. But anyway, you can definitely have two people up, but you have to understand as soon as the first person touches the ball that's up, they have to immediately leave so that the third man can go right away.
And you're going to see Gravy just miss a little shot there, but Painted Harp had a really nice setup. Yeah, it looks like Gravy and Jacob are going to kind of fight, and they're going to keep that ball control up in that corner to try and give them another chance at scoring here. Painted Harp's going to just be a little bit to the right, and yeah, I think it's a good offensive play to get the pressure back on DSU's side. And
speak of the devil.
Who else, man? Who else? This guy is nuts. Painted Harp is just, yeah. And, two defenders, going to put it right in between them. No problem.
Wow. And let's talk about that pass from Gravy. That was the pixel perfect pass off the corner. That ball could have gone literally anywhere, and it was so fast, right in the middle of their net. It was perfect.
Everything just fell into line really nicely there for him, Gravy putting a good pass, obviously, to Painted Harp, and then Painted Harp, with the nice little shooting the gap shot. And here we go. DSU's got that offensive pressure going on again. Jacob's going to miss the ball here.
So Jay's trying to go for a demo there, but Gravy is not going to be having none of that. Painted Harp kind of gets a backflip, but Def Moss is able there to kind of help him out.
Shot. That angle is a really tough one to kind of get the ball, in the right direction on. And beautiful reaction there from Def Moss to kind of get the ball cleared and follow through on it a little bit.
Painted Harp kind of getting beat there by Pod, but that's okay as Def Moss is back in the corner. 30 boost for him. Gets put right over them, but Gravy's there to help him out.
DSU's
5 seconds here. We kind of need to, if there's one last push that needs to happen, it needs to be from blue team right here. Jules going to try to throw it away, and he does.
And it's tough, I think DSU is going to fall to 0-2 here after a really good game against UNO. UNO's squad, I think is this their debut in the league?
This is kind of their first appearance in the league.
Yeah, well, debut season.
Right,
yeah.
Right.
But, and a good showing from that squad of guys. They have a lot to be proud of there. I think they definitely have a lot to work on in terms of some of their defensive and rotational structures. But UNO looking to be maybe a tough opponent to...
Kind of a force to be reckoned with, I agree.
Yeah.
And, like you said, super unfortunate that we kind of got reverse swept there in Game 5. But I feel that hopefully they can kind of watch these replay reviews, understand where they went wrong. It really comes down to while they're obtaining some of that offensive pressure, they have to really read their opponents a little bit better as they try to clear it. Mm-hmm. And so rather than going for where my opponent thinks I'm going to be, I'm going to try to be where he thinks I'm not going to be, so that he can he'll clear it basically to me, and I can keep that offensive pressure. And there was a couple times that I had noticed something like that.
Yeah, and with you guys, at least last season, I watched kind of some team chemistry development and things like that take place. And I know that this season wasn't quite what you guys would have hoped for. However, I felt like every single game I watched, you guys just continued to get better and better, and that's something that I feel like I'm hoping to observe here with the DSU team going forward, because there's a lot there. Obviously the valuable asset of Painted Harp's super, mechanical skill. Def Moss being a bulwark of a defense sometimes for the team. It's just really good. And then, of course, Gravy kind of fitting into the mix there really nicely. I think that they definitely have some good team chemistry, and I'm really looking forward to see what they do moving forward from here and the adjustments that they make for the season.
Yeah. Let's take a look at the schedule for the next couple of weeks here and kind of see what DSU is up against. It looks like next week at 7, we've got UND, and UND is a pretty solid team once again, but I think we definitely stand a chance. And then the week after, NDSU. So kind of some, pretty tight matchups in the next couple of weeks here. We got School of Mines on the 26th and USD, our rivalry, on the 5th.
Yeah.
And MSUM, which is also a very, very fun game. I know a lot of those guys are in the DCRL league as well. So
USD is going to be a really fun matchup to watch. Of course, always going against rivals. Some friendships there, some good blood. I know that you guys and the USD guys are good friends, and so it'll be fun to watch you guys have a match against each other there. And I think from us though, I think it's going to be time for us to sign off. Valorant is going to be taking place at 8. I will be back, and so will I guess I'll be a co-caster for him since he's such an incredible expert at Valorant. Mitch will be on, and it's going to be a fun time. I'm not quite sure who DSU is playing yet. If our maybe tech booth could fill me in on the Valorant schedule real quick, I could announce it. He said give him a second. But yeah, we'll be back here. We'll be back here shortly. Who? UND is going to be our matchup for tonight, and it's going to be one to look forward to. I know our Valorant team is quite a stout squad. Those
They're
guys
cracked with the sauce. So I heard.
our good old starting lineup, and then of course my CS:GO teammate Coach Leif. Good man there. But yeah, we'll be back here very shortly. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you guys next time.